What's going on, guys? Ribombees teacher now, so we're back with the LGL week number 3. Your Royal Bournemouth Ribombees are taking on the Cambridge Wild Caterpies and Coach ODF. There's a battle of the Brits and also a battle of the content creators. ODF also makes videos too. Go check him out. Down in the description below will be his link as well. So I'm sure he'll have his side of the battle up ASAP. But this match is kind of interesting to me because we're going to be a bit more experimental this week. I wanted to give some mons that haven't had a chance to shine a run this time round. But ODF, he's got a pretty good team, but he's yet to unlock its full potential. And I think that's something that he's struggled with, which is one of the reasons why he's 0-2 and -7 right now. He's been very receptive to advice. I know he's been watching a lot of my videos, so I appreciate all the support. But this is a battle and I aim to win, so we're going to have some fun. But as always, we're going to break down his team and then talk about my team and why I brought it. So, starting up is his Ferroseed, one of the best walls in the format. Really solid mon. Obviously takes great advantage of a Violite, as well as its great defensive typing, as well as its great natural bulk to start with. I'll typically run Iron Barbs. I don't think it ever runs anything else. Moveset-wise, could run a lot of different things. I would imagine if he does bring this, it could well have either Spikes or Rocks. I don't see a world where he brings both. Spikes is kind of better against my team, but it's possible that he could run Rocks instead. Giga Drain or Bullet Seed is fine. I think more likely Giga Drain in this instance because Bullet Seed is more used against sturdy users, but I don't have any on my team, so don't feel that he would need that. Knockoff is always nice utility, and Thunder Wave is actually really good. There's a pretty good reason for that. His team is kinda slow. Next up is Teambuilder. He's running, most likely, in my opinion, a Focus Sash. He could be Sash lead. With Water Bubble, of course. Webs is phenomenal against my team. My team is faster than his naturally, so Webs is always nice. Things like Scald, Giga Drain, Icy Wind possible, Mirror Code's possible. I could see like a stray Bug Buzz or U-Turn. I think it gets U-Turn. I might be wrong. But yeah, I could see him running a few little things, but it's probably Web's lead if he brings it. Does have to watch out, of course, for Wingo. But Sash, Berry, Juicy Violet, all perfectly reasonable items on Teambuilder, so we'll see. Next up is Dreepy. Honestly, doesn't really do anything. I'll be honest, I said this in the post-draft power rankings. I think this was probably a lackluster pick. But if it does come, probably Sash or a Violet, one of the two. It does have an interesting ability in Clear Body, though, which could be annoying as it could prevent like Wingo from defogging, for example. That could be a problem. But it just doesn't really get any moves. So if he does run it, probably Draco Meteor or Dragon Tail, one of the two. I remember in week 1 he brought Dragon Tail to deal with Thief's Tyrant. And things like Sucker Punch, T-Wave, Infestation, maybe. That's probably what I would guess he would bring. But in all honesty, like, it's just lackluster. I don't see a world where it comes. And I have a pretty solid answer for it in Impidimp anyway. So who knows. Next up is the mon I want to see him use better. This is probably my biggest criticism of ODF so far, is his Vulpix. Vulpix is a phenomenal Sunsetter. Given access to Drought, it actually is incredibly strong. Drought plus Weather Ball in this format with Specs or Scarf. Expect it to be Scarf if it comes, in my opinion. But things like Weather Ball, Energy Ball, Fire Blast, it even gets Mystical Fire now, which is actually really nice. Dark Pulse is always good. Willow Hex is a possibility as well. I do have a good few physical attackers like Grookey. Although, to be honest, a well-placed Weather Ball can just nuke it anyway. But yeah, he has a tendency to run Flash Fire instead, which I could see him bringing again for Torchic. It would make a lot of sense. Torchic is actually very good against his team, so I won't be too surprised to see it. But yeah, I feel like he should just run Drought and just hit harder. Vulpix is a phenomenal speedy mon. It's actually the same speed tier as Grookey, so I have to bear that in mind if it comes. But yeah, that's something just to worry about. I do want him to see him use his Vulpix better, whether it's against me or after me. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. Bulbasaur, obviously, in previous generations, paired up with Vulpix would be phenomenal. Unfortunately, Chlorophyll is now a banned ability in Little Cup, so you're not allowed to use it. So it's forced to run Overgrow. But I could see like an Eviolite / Berry Juice on it with Subseed, Sludge Bomb, Giga Drain, something like that. And if he does run Drought, Solar Beam is an option as well. It just hits incredibly hard. Subseed is actually really annoying. It definitely lives quite a long time. It's got decent enough bulk, not the best, but it's better special offense than physical offense, means Sludge Bomb Giga Drain is a pretty viable option. Next up is Happiny, another Pokemon that I don't really see coming. I don't think it does anything in general, let alone against me. But if it does come, probably a Violite, maybe a Focus Sash. There could be some shenanigans with it. Does have the advantage of Natural Cure, which is kind of a nice ability. Does get things like Aromatherapy and Heal Bell. Does get other utility like Thunder Wave. Gets Speed Control in Icy Wind. I could see like a potential Focus Sash counter. That could be really annoying. But other than that, it doesn't really do anything. It doesn't get Soft Boiled. It doesn't get any recovery or anything like that. So, yeah, it's kind of lackluster in general. So it should never come to a game. Nickit. Nickit's an interesting Pokemon, actually. I've not really seen anybody use it. I don't really know too much about it, but I think it suffers from bad move pool syndrome in general. It does have great abilities in Unburden and Stakeout, which are actually kind of nice. But its special attack is better than its physical attack, but most of its coverage moves are physical. Things like Play Rough and stuff like that. So, if it does come, it's probably Fake Out. Thief, Snarl, Knockoff are all decent Dark-type utility moves. So he could run that. But, yeah, I don't know. Nickit's kind of got a bit of trouble. It's an interesting Pokemon, but not the best, in my opinion. But if it does get an Unburdened Speed Boost, it could be a problem. So I do have to bear that in mind. Next up is Swinub. Swinub's a mon he's used quite a lot, and often not played it as well as he would have liked. Probably Focus Sash or a Violite, one of the two, running Thick Fat ability, of course, to deal with things like Torchic, especially in some of my other fire coverage moves, which you'll see on my team this week. Could definitely be annoying. It's typically a Rock setter, much like its evolutions. Rocks, Earthquake, Ice Shard. Maybe Endeavor if he's running Focus Sash. That's a possibility. He might just run Icicle Crash or Icicle Spear, something like that. Maybe Avalanche, because Swinub's pretty slow. So he may be able to take advantage of that. But yeah, things like that. That's probably what I expect him to bring if he brings it. Tyrogue is a mon that definitely comes, even though it's lackluster in general. But it's his only removal. It's his only Rapid Spinner on the team. And he's going to have to consider hazards, because, especially as I brought Venipede last week. So he knows I'm not scared to bring him. So I do expect him to bring them, so let's see what he does with it. But it's probably going to be Flame Orb Guts, as it always is. Fake Out, Bullet Punch, Rapid Spin, High Jump Kick is the set he tends to default to. I'm personally not a fan of High Jump Kick. I hate the mischance. I actually just prefer running extra priority like Mach Punch. You can at least use Tyrogue to try and pick up a Revenge Girl, but yeah, Tyrogue is not that great. It's 35 base stats across the board. It's pretty lackluster in general. But speaking of a mon that's not lackluster, we got Spritzy next. Spritzy is a real problem. This thing is very, very obnoxious when it's used correctly. He's been running Leftovers on this a lot, but I think a Violite's better if you can afford to run it. Aroma Veil is actually an underrated ability. It actually prevents moves like Taunt working and stuff like that, so it actually gives you a little bit of immunity there. I have run Taunt on my Grookey last week to stop Wynot setting or causing me issues. But typically it's set-wise, Moonblast, Wish, Protect, but his last move is kind of up for debate. Now, I mentioned before, his team is actually really, really slow, and that is something he could potentially play towards. Spritzy's actually an underrated Trick Room setter, in my opinion. I don't know if you can run Trick Room, Wish, Protect, Moonblast. I've never tried to run that. But Carmine is definitely an option. Maybe a coverage move like Psychic, something like that. For Venipede could be a thing. But yeah, I could definitely see this thing being a potential Trick Room setter. So that's something I do need to watch out for. Trick Room is annoying against my team, largely speaking, because my team's relatively fast. So I don't really like Trick Room in general. But it's a thing he could bring, so I do have to prepare for it and make sure that I have an answer to it. So yeah, that's something to bear in mind. But yeah, he tends to run Leftovers on it, which is somewhat punishable. So I do need to hopefully get that punish off. But if he does opt to bring Trick Room, I think the possibility of LGM coming is actually somewhat realistic. Most of the runs of Violite could be Sash to guarantee the Trick Room. It has a nice ability in Analytic, which is actually a really good ability for a slow Pokemon to have. It could run like Trick Room, Nasty Plot, Psychic, of course, for Stab. Maybe coverage moves, something like Thunderbolt would be good for Wingull. Could run Recover, I guess, being Mono Psychic attack, but again, he might struggle against Impidimp. So that's something to look out for. There is a world where LGM comes, but I do have a couple of good answers to LGM on my team, so maybe, maybe not. Could be interesting. And last but by no means least is Yamper. Yamper, not the best, in my opinion. It is a doggo, of course, but aside from that, it's not all that great. It's really, really slow, actually, considering Bolton's one of the faster ones in the format, or in evolved formats. It's kind of weird to see Yamper be incredibly slow, but probably a Violite rattled, because Ball Fetch is completely useless. Nuzzle, Play Rough, Flame Charge, Firefang, probably its best moveset. I don't really know, I've never seen Yamper used in Little Cup, aside from when ODF brought it to a game and it didn't really do much. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it comes. If I had to predict this 6, it'll probably be Pharisee, Dupider, Vulpix, Swinub, Tyrogue, and Spritzy. That's probably the 6 I would bring. It's probably his best 6 on his team in general, maybe except for Tyrogue, but yeah, that's probably what I'm expecting to come. So, let's talk about my team, shall we? So, first up on the team, as is going to be pretty much every week, is going to be Monkey the Grookey. Bringing in a Life Orb 4 attacks this week. Didn't feel like a need for Swords Dance. Maybe I should have brought it. But I actually kind of like U-Turn because I like the option to bait the Vulpix in and just be able to pivot out on it. And stuff like that. And if I can wear it down enough, Grassy Glide actually can do a significant enough amount of damage to non-Eviolite Vulpix. Knockoff is nice, so I can knock off any Scarfs. Particularly on Vulpix would be good. Especially things like Eviolites. Getting rid of anything from like Spritzy or stuff like that would be pretty handy. Obviously, you need to be careful running into Pharisee with the Iron Barbs, but I do have Drain Punch for it, so that shouldn't be too big an issue. But yeah, Knockoff can also catch in things like Dreepy, but I don't ever see a world where Dreepy switches in. It does nothing, so... But yeah, this is a pretty solid enough moveset. Drain Punch is nice for things like Nick It and the Swinub. Swinub could definitely switch in on this thing, so being able to knock it with a Drain Punch and threaten it out is pretty nice. So this could be very, very strong. We're running max speed this week because Grookey speed ties with Vulpix, so I don't want Vulpix outspeeding me. So if I ever get into that position and I can't Grassy Glide to knock it out, then I need the speed to at least speed tie and potentially force a Scarf, so that's something that's kind of nice. Next up is going to be my Defogger this week. It's going to be Speedy Burb, the Wingo. Running heavy duty boots because the Defog don't want entry hazards on switching, particularly rocks. Scald, Hurricane, Ice Beam. Ice Beam is nice because it gives me something to hit Pharisee with. It's somewhat decent. Also hits things like the Dreepy and the Bulbasaur, especially if I don't want to miss Hurricane. Hurricane is not a move I'm a huge fan of, but I feel like it's way better than Air Slash in this matchup. Obviously running max speed again to outspeed Vulpix and also to outspeed Dreepy should it come. Scald is generally nice otherwise, although it is kind of bad into Dupider, which is why we have Hurricane. But yeah, this is a pretty good special wall breaker in general, so I have no problem running the set. I think it's going to be pretty solid. I do need to watch out for some stray things like electric moves or stuff like that, so just need to be a little careful. But we should be fine just popping off a couple of defogs here and there. Next up on the team, making its debut this week, is going to be a second boots user. It's going to be Ice Ice Baby, the Alolan Sandshrew. Running heavy duty boots as well, just because this is going to be my spinner this week. Just in case I need to spin, especially on Pharisee hazards. And this is kind of an interesting one, because if I can catch it out, because I'm running enough speed on this, that if I get a rapid spin off, I outspeed a non-Scarf Vulpix. So, and then rapid spin plus Earthquake will OHKO a non-Eviolite Vulpix. With this set, so that's kind of what I'm going for here. Ironhead is also there for Spritzy. This is a pretty good switch into it in general. Although, as I'm not running a Special Bulk or Eviolite, which I would have liked to have run on it, Spritzy can still do a lot of damage if it gets up to Carmines. But Ironhead can still just do a hell of a lot of damage back to it, so hopefully we're good. And then Ice Shard is there just to pick off things. Just a nice little revenge kill option, which I preferred over Icicle Crash, because as much as I like Icicle Crash as a move, Sandshrew, unless it gets a spin-off, is a little too slow. So that's just what I needed to bear in mind. Next up, also making his debut this week, is going to be Dobby the Impidimp. Impidimp is kind of a fun matchup this week, because Impidimp has some okay things about it. It's not the best mon in the world, but with Life Orb, Fake Out, Pickpocket, it's actually kind of nice. If my item gets knocked off and he hits me with a physical move, Pickpocket actually steals his item, so that's something good to know. But Burning Jealousy, Dark Pulse, Dazzling Gleam hits a hell of a lot of this team. He doesn't really have a lot of good switch-ins to this except Vulpix, but Vulpix doesn't take 2 Dark Pulses, so that's something to bear in mind. We are fully offensive with a little bit of Special Bulk. This just helps me live a little bit of a hit, especially from things like the Vulpix if it's not Drought or Specs, and things like that. So I can switch in relatively well on special attacks. Burning Jealousy is the bait here, because obviously Impotent normally gets walled by Ferroseed, but Burning Jealousy catches it on the switch in. That's pretty much the main theme of this team, is catch him on the switch, threaten him out, and then hit whatever he comes in with as much damage as possible. That's kind of the game plan. So we can Burning Jealousy potentially knock out the Ferroseed, depending on its EV spread. Dark Pulse is fantastic for things like the Dreepy, of course, as well as the LGL. And Dazzling Gleam is there for things like the Dreepy, things like the Nickit, also the Tyrogue, of course, and stuff like that. And then Fake Out can be a nice little revenge option. Life Orb gives me a little bit extra damage, which I like. Obviously, that heals up in grassy terrains should Grookey have come out. So I have a few little shenanigans that I kind of like this thing for. So hopefully we can put this little guy to good use. I've never used Impotent before, so this is a first. But we shall see how it gets on. Next up, someone that never makes its debut but always comes in good is little Chungus the Munchlax. Running the standard set this week, Curse Rest Talk, Body Slam with a Violite. Don't really see a reason to run anything else. Yes, I'm wild by Ferroseed. Yes, I'm wild by Dreepy, but let's be honest, I don't think Dreepy ever comes, and Ferroseed I have plenty of answers for, so I don't necessarily think it's the worst. This hits everything else for neutral damage, so I'm not against that. Curse is also really good for Body Slam, especially against the Carmining Spritzy. I have enough Special Bulk to be able to take hits pretty comfortably from this thing. Thick Fat means I can switch in comfortably on Vulpix, no problem, unless it's Drought Specs, and that could be really problematic. It easily 2 KOs me even through Thick Fat, so I have to watch out for that, but we should be good to go either way. And last but by no means least, making its debut is going to be Hermione the Hatenna. This is an interesting choice, because Hatenna has Magic Bounce, which could be a deterrent for things like Hazard Setting, while it actually has enough presence with its move pool to actually dish out a lot of damage. Carmine, Dazzling Gleam, Mystical Fire, Psyshock. Psyshock is better against Spritzy, so if we end up in a Carmine race, then I should be able to live +2 Moonblasts while dishing out a huge amount of damage back with Psyshock. So that's kind of the plan. Mystical Fire is fantastic against Ferroseed, which would otherwise wall Hatenna, so that's another option for us. I think we still outspeed Ferroseed. Maybe I need to run some speed just to make sure. But I'm pretty sure we outspeed regardless. But yeah, this is a very, very solid mon in general. I really like Hatenna. I've been saving it for this match because I think it could be really interesting, especially in a Trick Room battle. Hatenna has a bit of an awkward base speed of 39. It's a little faster than a lot of this team. But after Tyrogue Rapid Spins, it's faster and stuff like that. So I can be a little sneaky with this set. And who knows, maybe Hatenna pulls off a sweep. But that's going to be our team. Let's go connect up with our good buddy ODF, and let's see what happens in the battle. See you in a bit. Alright guys, we are connected here with ODF. I just had to do a quick look at my team again, because there was an issue with my Alolan Sandshrew. Okay, let me just send it again for whatever reason, don't quite know why. But yeah, either way, it should be okay now. But if you skip the Teambuilder, the only thing that's changed on there is that I took Ice Shard off of my Sandshrew and replaced it with Ice Punch. It should now be fine. But you can see the 6 I think he's bringing down below on the big screen. And we're going to click his Accept Challenge. Good luck, have fun, ODF. Let's see what you bought for me. Oh, wow. Very different to what I expected. He says good luck, have fun, so I'll just honor that. So no Dewpider is massive for us. That's kind of good for us that he didn't bring the Dewpider. He also didn't bring Spritzy. Wow. So he really changed things up here. So he brought Happiny. Kind of weird to see that. I don't know what this thing's gonna do to me. Like, I'm expecting, like, potential Sash counter shenanigans. And then Spritzy is not here, but Yamper is instead. Okay. So I feel like he went for the more speed control route. but I felt like he would have been better going just for webs, honestly. This kind of makes my Sandshrew a little bit weak. But Grookey kind of just murders this team. So... Huh. So leads for him. He probably leads Swine up for rocks. That's gonna be my guess. I honestly could just straight lead Grookey here. I don't see why I wouldn't. I could also just lead Hatena. Hatena doesn't seem like a bad idea either. I could also just straight lead Wingull. Wingull outspeeds everything on this team, barring a Choice Scarfed Vulpix. I'm gonna lead Hatena. I think Hatena is gonna be interesting for him to deal with. As he leads Tyrogue, actually, so we're faster than this. Unless he's max speed, right? Because we're not actually speed invested. So let's just assume that he is. I mean, I'd imagine he's probably adamant because he wants the damage. Oh, he's faster. But let's assume he's faking out here. We'll say a max attack. I think you're 232. You barely do anything to me. Okay, put the link in for me, so I don't need to worry about it. Kinda just want a Psyshock. Like, what does he do to me here? Like, how much is Bullet Punch doing to me? Not much. Let's... I mean, you're obviously Guts. That's a given. You're holding the Flame Orb. Even when you're burned, you're doing like 20%. What about High Jump Kick? Does 38 to 40, so even Fake Out plus anything doesn't kill me. I'm just gonna Psyshock. He does go for Fake Out. Not too surprised to see that. I mean, I could just Psyshock here. Like, what do you do to me? I'm pretty sure this thing doesn't get any moves. Tyrogue. I don't think this thing gets anything to really hit me. I mean, it gets Rock Slide, I guess. Oh, it does get Thief. How much does Thief do to me? Thief doesn't kill me. I'm Psyshocking. So his only Psychic resist... Oh, wow. Thank you. I'll take that. Okay. I will happily take that damage. Because that puts you in Grookey range. And this is also not Drought. So this is Flash Fire. Good to know. So ODF, when you watch this, you need to start using Drought. Even if you're Specs, you don't kill me here. Wait. Do you have Shadow Ball or Dark Pulse? I think you have both, right? Vulpix. You definitely have Dark Pulse. You don't have Shadow Ball, actually. Okay. So, how much is Dark Pulse doing to me? Let me just check. Dark Pulse. If you're Specs, Dark Pulse does not kill me. I did 84%, so you're definitely choiced. You're not a Violate on this thing. Is there not a reason for me just to Psyshock again here? Fire Blast. Doesn't kill, yeah. You're a Life Orb. Okay, well, we get rid of Vulpix straight away, and that was a huge threat to my team. So now Grookey is in a brilliant position. Hatana's weakened, which is unfortunate. Fake out plus bullet punch does kill me here. But I can just freely switch out now. So with Vulpix being gone, Grookey basically beats this entire team. So he goes into this thing. I'm assuming he's going to fake out. I could just go into Grookey now. Like, what does he do? Like, does fake out plus high jump kick kill Grookey? Tyrog. So your max attack, adamant. Fake out. Oh yeah, I need to put your abilities in. Guts. Holding the flame orb. And you are burned. Fake out. Bullet punch. High jump kick. You do, but you don't survive the grassy glide. I'm gonna go into Grookey. We do see the fake out. I did a lot. Whoa. Huh. Wait a second. Why did that do so much? That did 38%, which is more than my calc says. Oh, you are literally max attack, and you high rolled me. Okay. So... I think Grassy Glide should kill. But I kind of don't want to throw away my win condition. Because Grookey just wins this game. Beats everything on this team, bar Ferroseed, but I have Impidimp for that. I don't see a world where Grassy Glide doesn't kill. I mean, unless he's like max HP and I'm Mineral. I'll go for Grassy Glide. He does switch Ferroseed, that's fine. Did nothing. Oh, you Rocky Helmet. You're not. Okay. So how much is Drain Punch doing? Ferroseed. Drain Punch is not killing here. Okay. I kind of just want to go into Dobby. Is that bad? No, I think he spikes, honestly. Actually, let's go into Hatana. Let's see what you do. You do go for spikes, which we're going to bounce back, which is awesome for us. I will take that any day. So we got a really good switch in on him there. Yeah, he says, oh no, in the chat. I guess he didn't see that coming. I got a Mystical Fire. I should be faster. Unless he's some random max speed Ferroseed, which never happens. But yeah, we got a very, very good bounce back there. So if he is a Sash Swinub, he's in trouble unless he can get this Tyro again. I mean, a knockoff should probably kill me, honestly. Oh yeah, knockoff definitely kills. Mystical Fire actually does not kill here. But it does depend on his spread. But if I can get good damage off on this, then I can just Drain Punch it. Or I can just go into Wingull and click Ice Beam. Or even just Dobby and Burning Jealousy. I think we just Mystical Fire. He actually switches into Swinub. I'll take this. That's damage. Okay. So Earthquake definitely kills me here. But then I get a free Wingull switch on. I mean, I kind of don't need Hatena anymore, but Hatena's kind of nice. Does Ice Shard kill me? It probably does. Oh, Ice Shard doesn't. Earthquake does, though. You are a Violite. Judging by my mystical fire damage. You like a Violite, Thickfoot? Maybe you're not actually a Violite. Maybe you are sashed. Yeah, I think you're sashed. Okay. Well, I mean, you outspeed me here. Either way. How big of a deal is that? I don't think it's a big deal if I lose Hatena here. Yep, Earth Power, which doesn't kill me. So actually, that's a very big play. The crit, don't think that mattered. But yeah, he threw away Swine Up relatively cheaply. So these are two relatively cheap mons right now. And Hatena's got both of these kills. So Hatena putting in a lot of work right now. Honestly, he should just go Tyrug and fake out. Yep, here's the Tyrug. I think you fake out here, right? I almost just want to go into Sandshrew, because Sandshrew is kind of useless in this match. Although it does kind of deal with Yamper relatively okay if it's not running Fire Fang. I kind of want to keep it as well, just in case I need to spin. In fact, you know what? We're actually going to keep this and just go into Little Chungus. He does fake out as expected. So we're getting free damage here. I think he high jump kicks. Maybe I should have just sacked off Hatena, actually. Because honestly, that would have put me in a better position. I still need to deal with this Ferroseed. So I need to keep Impidimp around. Because Impidimp should just be able to knock it out. He definitely HJKs here. We'll go into Hermione. We'll sack Hatena this time. Rapid Spin, actually. Okay. I see you. So, Hatena goes down. Hatena did a fantastic job, though. I'm super happy with the Hatena bring. But now I just get to go into Grookey again. And then I Grassy Glide. He says I didn't get 6-0'd, I can lose now. I respect it. Actually, I kind of want to Drain Punch. Because I think he switches out. But what if he doesn't? How bad is that for me? That's kind of bad. Because now he's probably faster than Wingull. Although he doesn't do anything to Wingull. Or Grassy Glide. We won't take the risk. Okay. I think I can just Drain Punch, though. I feel like I just Drain Punch. Like, what's stopping me from doing that? He could kill me with Knockoff and Iron Barbs, though. Let's go into Dobby. I'm letting Grookey get weakened, which I don't like. But I might be able to get an outplay here. And that's kind of what I'm going for. Because I didn't play this Grookey very well. Leech Seed, unfortunately that misses. I'm sorry, dude, that sucks. Gotta hate it when that happens. We're gonna Burning Jealousy. Actually, I should fake out first. Is it worth me faking out? No, I don't think so. We just Burning Jealousy here. I just want some chip damage on this thing, basically. That's kind of what I want. I mean, depending on his spread, I potentially knock him out here. He switched. Okay. So he read my play. I respect it. What does this thing do, though? I don't think this thing gets anything that bothers me. Maybe T-Wave, I guess? Let's go to Munchlax. Actually, do I Munchlax here? Like, I'd love to go to Grookey and Drain Punch this thing, but he's just gonna go Ferroseed every time I go into it. I kind of like the Sandshrew play. Although I can heal off the Thunder Wave. Toxic. That's fine. I'll take that. Should have gone into Sandshrew, but we're fine either way here, I think. I can just curse here. I don't think this thing does much to me. Hyper Voice, that does nothing, dude. That does jack squat. Okay. Okay, we're gonna Body Slam. We'll take one more and then we rest. He might just go Tyrogue, honestly. Which would definitely catch him out. But yeah, with Ferroseed being the only thing he has that resists it, we'll get some intel on its Body Slam damage. In fact, I should have counted. Yeah, he does go Tyrogue. This is gonna die. Well, that's a relief. Now he goes back into this thing again. I mean, what's this gonna do? I don't understand. I think I just rest here. I'm kind of curious as to what he tried there. Really curious as to what he tried there. I mean, if I'm him, I go Ferroseed here. Yeah, that's what you should have done the first time round. I'm gonna rest though, so the Toxic is gone. Now I just Sleep Talk. I don't mind him setting hazards because I have 2 heavy-duty Bootsmons, so I'm not that worried about him setting spikes here. He could Leech Seed, which would suck. But if I Sleep Talk into some good stuff, he does actually spikes, which helps me out here. We get a Body Slam. That's not bad damage. I'll take that. And now he Seeds. Okay. We do get another Body Slam. Do we get a Power? We don't. That's unfortunate. But we are actually going to rest here. So, although we are going to wake up now, so I can just curse. He has Giga Drain, but that doesn't do a lot. Okay. I actually kind of just want to go into my Wingull now. I think I should probably rest, though. Yeah, he is Giga Draining still. So we're gonna rest up. And now we just Sleep Talk. So he is getting his health back. Obviously, he is gonna heal a fair bit. But if I can get a Body Slam para, then I'm in a decent spot here. Or even if I Sleep Talk into Curse, like, that's just making me even better here. Because this Ferroseed's hardly doing any damage. It's got Spike, Leech Seed, Giga Drain. One other move, right? My guess is it's probably, like, Gyro Ball. Could be knockoff. And we Sleep Talk a Body Slam. This thing is gone. Okay. Munchlax is just taking names right now. Munchlax is just taking names. Dude, Hatenna and Munchlax are putting in all the work. Who says Grookey's broken? Oh, dear. We got one more turn of Sleep Talk. Unfortunately, we Sleep Talk to rest that turn, which kind of sucks. I kind of want a Body Slam. I can afford to Body Slam this turn. I want to see how much this does. Not as much as I would like. Okay. So I'm actually just going to switch out into Sandshrew. I want to see how much this Giga Drain does. It doesn't do anything. That's what I thought. So I can Earthquake here for neutral damage. Because I don't think this thing can do anything to me. Earthquake does decent damage. It doesn't do the greatest damage in the world, but it does decent damage. I could also spin. I'm gonna Earthquake first, though. Yeah, we do decent enough damage there. He does Leech Seed. So now we're gonna spin. I'm gonna take Iron Barb's damage, but that's fine. Actually crit the Rapid Spin. That's kind of funny. Okay. He has Gyro Ball, so he had it the whole time. So I'm interested to know why he didn't do this before. Now I'm gonna go into Dobby. Oh, good play. Good play, dude. I thought I was gonna catch him there. Good play on his part. Okay, but now I can just go Wingull for free. And I go for Ice Beam. He should just go Happiny here. If he goes Happiny, I go back into Munchlax. I kind of want to get this thing in range for Drain Punch to kill. That's what I'm aiming for. Oh, that sucks. That's really unfortunate. I'm sorry, dude. That sucks. Yeah, he didn't deserve that. He honestly didn't deserve that. He made such a good play, and then that happened. I kind of feel bad. I mean, that is how Pokemon goes, but it does suck when that happens. I'm gonna Hurricane. You do good damage. Oh, are you kidding me? Dude, come on. This is not how I wanted to win this game. Oh, man. That sucks. I hate winning games this way. I gotta go into Munchlax. Ooh, okay. Let me check the Drain Punch calc. He should be in range for a Drain Punch now. I'm gonna Curse, though. He is gonna switch, as expected. Okay, we're gonna go Wingull first. Very nice play. Okay, he's playing this really well. I don't need Wingull anymore. I'm gonna Ice Beam. Don't freeze him again, though. This is actually a very interesting endgame. We're gonna Hurricane. We do connect. We do good damage there. I should have Hurricane last turn, but he's in range for Drain Punch now. So we lost Wingull. And we should be able to kill with this Drain Punch. According to my calc, it does 45 to 59%. So, unless I've made a mistake, this should kill. Yep, it's gone. Okay. And Hapini comes in. This is also going to get Drain Punched. And then that should be GG. And that is GG. Grookey picks up 2 kills at the end. Great game, ODF. You came back into that really well. I definitely misplayed. I didn't expect you to gyro ball on my impedance switching. So I had to sack off a little bit of differential there, just to make sure I guaranteed the win. I personally, of the view in a longer season, I would rather have a safe win than just go for massive differentials. There were definitely some good moments in this game for you. You definitely misplayed the Vulpix, in my opinion. I think that switching on Hatana made no sense. That was definitely a surprisingly odd play. You did get a little unlucky with the rest torque turns, body slam murdering the Tyrogue and the Yamper. That definitely didn't help your cores, but I felt like you gave away a few Pokemon a little too cheaply, and that kind of cost you in the long run. But yeah, definitely some things to take note of. Run Drought on your Vulpix, it causes a lot of problems. I had nightmares testing against that thing, so I'm really happy you didn't bring it. But I'm very happy with the result. I got 2 kills on all of Grookey, Munchlax, and Hatana. So my tier 5s are putting in work right now. Wooper did work last week. Hatana did work this week. Really excited for this. But who am I playing next week? I actually forgot. I kind of feel bad. I'm sorry to whoever my opponent is. Let me just check. Who am I playing in week 4? Next week, I'm playing Produce, actually. That's going to be fascinating. I'm really excited. Oh, no, I'm not playing Produce. Who am I playing? Is there a week missing? Oh, no, it's just numbered weirdly. So I am playing Produce next week. That's going to be fun. Really looking forward to that. He's been in pretty decent form lately. But either way, guys, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay awesome, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Take care.